You know that feeling, right? You get this amazing idea for an app or a website, but then you hit a wall. How do you actually design the thing? Well, Google's got an experimental new AI tool that could seriously shake things up. It's called Stitch, and its whole deal is turning a simple text prompt into a fully designed and coded user interface, like in seconds.
All right, so here is the plan for this explainer. First, we're going to tackle the Stitch conundrum. Yeah, there's more than one. Then we'll get into how it actually goes from prompt to product. After that, we'll talk about its killer feature, the bridge between designers and developers. We'll also figure out who this is really for. Is it an accelerator or a substitute? And finally, we'll look at Stitch and the bigger picture of the AI future.
Okay, so first things first, we gotta solve a bit of a modern branding puzzle, because if you just go out and search for Stitch, you need to be really clear on which one you're actually after. Yeah, believe it or not, the name Stitch is currently being used for three completely different things. So a simple search can send you down some pretty weird rabbit holes. Let's just clear this up right now so we're all on the same page.
So here's the breakdown. The one we're talking about today is Google's Stitch AI, the AI tool that generates user interfaces. But you could also stumble upon Stitch Data, which is a platform for data engineers doing ETL stuff. Totally different. And then there's another Stitch, a social community for folks over 50. So just to be super clear, for the rest of this explainer, when we say Stitch, we mean the Google AI one.
All right, with that confusion cleared up, let's get to the fun part, how this thing actually works. How does Stitch take a simple idea, just a thought in your head, and turn it into a real, tangible design on the screen? This quote right here just nails it. You type Stitch builds. It really boils down the whole concept to its core. You just describe what you want, in plain English, and the AI does the heavy lifting of actually building the UI. So what is it, officially? Well, it's an experimental tool from Google Labs, and this is the key part. It's running on their Gemini models. That means it's not just a design tool, it's a true prompt-to-product solution. It can understand what you type, but it can also understand sketches. And then it translates that vision into both the visual design and the front-end code to make it work. And actually, using it couldn't be simpler. It's really just a four-step dance. You log in and pick a canvas, then you craft your prompt, you just tell it what you want. After that, you review what it made and refine it. And finally, you export your work. That's it. It's designed so that literally anyone can jump in, even if you have zero design experience. Now, when it comes to prompting, there are basically two ways you can go about it. You can go the super detailed route, where you write this one massive, perfect prompt, trying to get it all right in one go. Or you can treat it more like a conversation. You start with something simple and then make small, iterative changes. Hey, can you make that button blue? Now, move this over here. The cool thing is, both work. It's a dialogue. Okay, now we're getting to what I think is the absolute killer feature of Stitch. This is the thing that takes it from just being a cool tech demo and turns it into a genuinely powerful tool that solves a problem that's been around for decades. And that problem is this, the handoff. Anyone who's worked in tech knows the pain. You've got the designers over here with these beautiful, perfect mock-ups, and you've got the developers over here who have to somehow turn those static pictures into living, breathing code. That gap between them, that's where projects go to die. It's where time gets wasted and all the little details get lost in translation. And this is Stitch's brilliant solution. It builds a bridge. It doesn't make you choose a side. For the designers, you can export a fully layered design straight into Figma to tweak and polish. And for the developers, you can export production-ready code that's ready to go. It speaks both languages, connecting those two worlds perfectly. Okay, so this all sounds great, but who is this actually for? And the big question, right? The one everyone's thinking, is this going to replace designers and developers? Well, the folks at Google have a very clear philosophy on this. When you look at who can use this, the list is huge. Think about it. A solo founder who needs to get an MVP out the door fast. A product manager who wants to show, not just tell, what a new feature could look like. A UX writer testing copy in a real layout. Even students or marketers who need to spin up a quick landing page. It's really for anyone with an idea who needs to make it visual.
And that brings us to this quote, which is maybe the most important thing to understand about Stitch. It is an accelerator, not a substitute. It's not here to replace people.
What it does do is get rid of that dreaded blank canvas paralysis, staring at an empty screen, not knowing where to start. It automates all that foundational grunt work, the basic layouts, the component placement.
This frees up the actual human experts to do what they do best, focus on the high-level strategy, the nuanced user experience, the creative polish that really makes a product great.
All right, so for our final section, let's zoom out a bit. The world is getting flooded with new AI tools every single day. So where does a tool like Stitch fit into this competitive landscape? Who are its rivals? What's really interesting is that Stitch isn't trying to be a Figma killer. The fact that it exports to Figma shows it wants to be a partner. And it's not really like GitHub Copilot, which is all about helping you write code line by line. Stitch is way more visual. It kind of finds its own unique sweet spot, right in the middle, translating visual ideas into real, functional code. And that really brings us to the big, exciting idea behind tools like this. We're heading towards a future where the biggest barrier to creating something new isn't your skill in Figma or how well you can code. It's just your ability to clearly describe your vision. It really makes you wonder, right? If the next great innovation is just a conversation away, what are you going to build?